in our series around diving a little bit deeper with kind of looking at the modern data stack and Databricks, particularly around some of our practical client solutions for the financial services and fintech companies. Obviously, the number one topic that comes to mind when I think about this is know your customer and AML, anti-money laundering, these kind of core compliance requirements that you have. And so I asked my business partner and our chief technology officer and a deep expert in the financial services space, Colin, to show us around the Databricks ecosystem a little bit. Colin, thanks for joining.
Yeah, thank you for having me. This is a great area for fintech companies to, I think, innovate on. KYC and AML compliance is something that everybody needs to contend with, and I think with the increased scrutiny in kind of non-bank financial companies in 2024, this is something that companies were ignoring a little bit, and now have to get up to speed on. So I think there's a lot of opportunity within Databricks to build some solutions around that. So I built a quick demo for solving this problem within Databricks using some new technology, which is Delta Live Tables, which is a declarative ETL framework that Databricks put out to help basically make building and managing ETL pipelines kind of scalable and easy, and really hands off in terms of managing the compute and the monitoring, the alerting, and everything that goes along with it. So here, I'll show you.
I want to look.
Show you what I built here.
Get me in there, Carl. And so this is a counter strategy to just taking the FTX model where you just move to the Bahamas and bury your head in the sand, right? This is the alternative strategy here.
That's one way to do it. I wouldn't recommend that.
All right, let's go against the pattern and show something a little more sophisticated then.
I love it. So yeah, quick walkthrough. We have basically set up a demo that solves for responding to sanctions lists. So companies need to monitor their customers and their transactions against sanctions lists that come in from kind of all over the world. And we have a very simple demo that basically ingests those things into Databricks. I'll start it, and so we can see a little bit about what it looks like as it's going. But basically what we do is we pull in the sanctions list. This case, we're pulling it in just via CSV, but you could pull it in via API or some other means. This is just pulling in our customer data, which ideally would already be in Databricks, and our transaction data, but in this case,
so if you had like a lakehouse architecture and your data was sitting in, or maybe even in Azure, but if it was in Databricks, you'd be able to connect to those databases right here. Just the same.
Super easy. Yeah. So Delta Live Tables allows you to basically combine batch data ingestion, streaming data ingestion into like a really good unified model that allows you to connect to databases that provide CDC, cloud data storage like ADLS or S3. Data that's already sitting in a Unity catalog can all be used very, very seamlessly with kind of very similar syntax. So, looking at, we have this data here. Before we
go forward, am I correct watching at the bottom of the screen that the compute and the clusters are spinning up?
It's
happening in real time right there?
So in real time, it's basically validated this whole DLT pipeline that I've created in here. And then it's got some resources. This one's using serverless resources, so it spins up pretty quickly. And now it's just running through the different components. So there's a couple steps, which you'll see the graph at the end. That gives you a really good.
Are those resources kind of governed by t-shirt sizing, or like how so fully serverless?
They're all automatic. Yeah,
okay.
You can control your cluster sizes and optimize it on your own if you want to. But one of the nice parts about Delta Live Tables is you basically defer all the orchestration and cluster management to DLT, and it will be very, very efficient and very, very hands-off and low maintenance. And so it's basically the cheapest, easiest way to run these types of pipelines really in any kind of cloud data platform that I've ever seen. So it's great in that way. So just to kind of run through real quick the other pieces of moving pieces in here. So we create 3 views. One is a flag customers view, basically just joining the tables between our sanctions list and our customers. to find entities that show up in those sanctions lists. And we have a couple expectations in here, so you can enforce data quality at this level, and it'll basically allow you to kick out records that don't fit, or flag them, or put them in a quarantine. There's different ways, but it's all in line, which is really nice to have your data quality right here. We create our flagged transactions, which is basically combining the flagged customers and the transaction table to see what transactions might represent ones that could be problematic for our sanctions reporting. And then last but not least, we create a table that is for the report that aggregates all that data into a view that we can very easily share with our analysts or our compliance officers. And you'll see at the bottom, our thing just finished. And
look at that.
We got a beautiful little DAG that shows all the moving pieces, and you could see if this was much more complicated how useful it would be. But shows you obviously green written records. We had all the records already sitting in there, so those are no new. But any dropped records from data quality issues would show up in here, and show kind of everything that's happened within your pipeline. So this view is nice, and you can see in this view here, any kind of warnings or logs or query history, shows the same thing. It's very very powerful. So the last piece in here, is a dashboard. Obviously, bringing that stuff up and putting it in front of analysts requires some visualizations in a lot of cases. And this allows you to really set up, from the data you put in Unity Catalog with the DLT, you get it right in here, and you can create as many visualizations very quickly to kind of share with your compliance team. So they have now a list of all the flagged customers, the different countries, and where the flagged customers are coming from, so they can get a kind of bird's eye view of their compliance issues. And this stuff can all be in real time based on DLT being something that can run continuously if that's the way you set it up.
Wow, that's pretty powerful. You can imagine how much easier it is to communicate without needing to spin up another standalone data app or any of those pieces. You have this like embedded right in here to get to visualization for communication, security and control around it, good lineage and visibility, auto managed with Delta Live Table, auto managed infrastructure with Delta Live Tables. Pretty impressive. Yeah, definitely new standard of what it takes to start getting pipelines delivered out.
Yeah, it makes these compliance platforms and pipelines a lot less scary to tackle, and a lot easier to scale as well. So it's great.
I imagine. Excellent. Well, that leaves me to teasing future topics. It seems like talking about scaling and maybe a little bit about the that lineage made me think a little bit more about the governance and features around Unity Catalog. But for another video, we will link to those below. But I'm going to thank you so much for sharing this demo. I'm excited to tease out a couple more videos coming here right away.
Yeah, looking forward to diving deeper.
Thanks, Colin. Talk soon, man.
Thanks, Josh.